Brakataya Hoa, Brakataya Hoa Shai, Brakataya Hoa, Brakataya Hoa Shai, Brakataya Hoa, Brakataya Hoa Shai. Call Halayim La Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, which means all praises to Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father. Ba'asham means in the name. Yahweh Shai is the true name of His only begotten Son, what the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and salutations to all you brothers who preach in the gospel in truth and in sincerity, always in charity. And it's pretty much gonna be a lesson inspired by the elder apostle Tahar. Um, he made a mention of the Devil's Punch Bowl in his video. I believe it's at the end of this video. If you wanna make a Christian run, you know. And at the end of this video, he made a reference, and he said, "Look up the Devil's Punch Bowl." If the Spirit move you to do a lesson on it, So without further ado, I'm just gonna go into it. I looked up, I googled the Devil's Punch Bowl, and this little article I came across that was written this year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It said it was in March, um, but it was written this year though. Yeah, it don't give the date. It gave the date when I clicked on it. But anyway, I'm gonna just play this little short clip, and then we're gonna read the article. And then we're gonna go through some scriptures, Lord will.
This is WJTV News Channel 12. That's it.
Concentration camps. People mostly associate the term with Nazi Germany, but historians say it's true. They also existed in America. During the Civil War, authorities in Natchez, Mississippi forced tens of thousands of freed slaves into camps built in what's known as the Devil's Punch Bowl. Jacob Kittlestad explores this forgotten history this Mystery Monday.
Untouched fruit falls to the ground near the banks of the Mississippi River.
They talk about there's the most beautiful wild peach groves down in the Punch Bowl.
And researcher Paula Westbrook says, like a peach, the area known as the Devil's Punch Bowl has a pit, a mass grave from the 1860s. Historians estimate that in 1 year, up to 20,000 freed slaves died in contraband camps below these bluffs.
When the slaves were released from the plantations during the occupation, they overran Natchez, and the population went from about 10,000 to 120,000 overnight.
So they decided to build an encampment for them at Devil's Punch Bowl, which they walled off and wouldn't let them out.
Don Estes is the former director of the Natchez City Cemetery.
I just put my own tombstone right there. You see Estes?
Learning history spent his life. He says Union troops ordered recaptured black men to perform hard labor.
Right down, right here.
While women and children were all but left to die in the 3 Punch Bowl prisons.
Disease broke out among them, smallpox being the main one, and thousands died. They were begging to get out. Turn me loose and I'll go home back to the plantation, anywhere but there. But they wouldn't let them out.
The Union Army did not allow them to remove the bodies from the camp. They just gave them shovels and said, bury them where they drop.
And I'd really like to show you more of this terrain, but it's just too thick with greenery. These bluffs are also straight down, so not only is it dangerous to navigate, it's still very mysterious back there.
It's a bed of alligators and snakes. It would take Indiana Jones to get back in there at this point.
Then you come on up washing away bluffs, and at the Devil's Punch Bowl that has so many people that no one knows how they got killed or when, and they're still down there wasted.
And even to this day, they talk about wild peach trees that come up down there, but no one in Natchez will eat them because they know what the fertilizer was.
Exploring the unexplained on Mystery Monday, Jacob Kittlestad, WJTV News Channel 12.
And historians say even now, people might discover old skeletal remains after flooding on the Mississippi. But being on the Natchez Trace, sometimes it's difficult to tell which century those bones are from.
Right, and that's all the atrocities of Esau. Man, matter of fact, let's get a scripture real fast. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, I believe it's 16. 15, Slaki. This is Ecclesiastes 3, verse 15. It says, that which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past, man. So all that blood of those Israelites, man, are going to be required at the hands of you devils, man. You understand? At the hand of Esau, Edom, man. You know, this is Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, in verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end, right? Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So that's what's coming upon Esau, Edom, man. You know, the whole nation of Esau, Edom, for all the atrocities and calamities that you bestowed upon the children of Israel, man. This is Numbers chapter 35, verse 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it, man. You know, this is Amos 1, verse 11. It says, thus saith Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. And this right here is a sign of Esau keeping his wrath forever, man. You know? How are the things of Esau searched out, man? Through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. You know, and recompense is coming upon this place, man, for all the atrocities that was done unto the to the people of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Now, this is an article by Claire Burnish. It says, Devil's Punch Bowl, an American concentration camp so horrific it was erased from history. It says, say the words concentration camps, and most will surmise the topic surrounds World War II and the Nazis. But the hard labor, constant threat of death, and barbarism these microcosmic hells presented weren't unique to Adolf Hitler. In just 1 year, around 20,000 freed slaves perished in the Devil's Punch Bowl. Now, that's Esau and his numbers, man. You know, it was probably way more than that, you know. All right, Salakia. But yeah, you know, Esau bullshit with the numbers, man. You know, more than likely, man, it was thousands more than that, you know. It said, matter of fact, we're going to keep reading. It says, in just 1 year, around 20,000 freed slaves perished in the Devil's Punch Bowl in Natchez, Mississippi, USA. After the Civil War, a massive exodus of former slaves from southern plantations trekked northward in hope of reaching a location of true freedom. But embittered soldiers, resentful the people considered property were now free, had other plans. Right, so they were Saudi, right? They were so-called made free, that they weren't private slave owners anymore, you know. But we gonna get into that. It says one tiny town's population mushroomed 12-fold from the influx, as researcher Paula Westbrook, who has extensively studied Devil's Punch Bowl, noted. When the slaves, and it's what the woman said in the video, this woman Paula Westbrook. It says when the slaves were released from the plantations during the occupation, they overran Natchez, and the population went from about 10,000 to 120,000 overnight. So only 20,000 died in a year, but overnight, allegedly, although, come on, man, you know, the number of Israelites that died is well over 20,000. It says, unable to grapple with an instant population swell, the city turned to Union troops still lingering after the war to devise a merciless, impenitent solution. And you notice it didn't say Confederate troops, man. It said Union troops. It said Union troops because that war wasn't a war for you so-called Negroes' freedom, man. You know, that was a war of Esau's interests. You know, This is emancipate. This is the word emancipate. It says a setting free. 1630s. You notice it says 1630s is setting free. From French, emancipation. From Latin, emancipatum, noun of action. From past participle of emancipare. See emancipate. In modern use, especially a freeing of a minor from parental control. Nope. See, you see how they, But let's go and see emancipate. This is set free from control, from Latin emancipatus, emancipare, um, the freeing, to make his own way. There it is. You see, it says start from right here. It says assimilated form of X, which is out and away, and emancipare, deliver, transfer, or sell. So they emancipated. They was delivered away from the private, or delivered out of the private owners into what? The corporate owners, man. So we left from being personal slaves unto corporate slaves, man. And that's what really the Edomites were fighting over the Civil War, because the Southern was like, no, man, we want to keep the money in our pockets, you know. In the Union, the North was fighting to put more people in the workforce, pretty much, man, so they can make more money off the laborers, because they wasn't making the money off the free labor of the slaves in the South. The plantation owners were. You understand? You know, it says from emancipare, deliver, transfer, or sale, from emancipendum, ownership, from man is hand. So deliver from one hand to another, from one ownership to another ownership, man. So it wasn't so it doesn't mean to set free, because you weren't set free, man. You understand? You were transferred ownership. That's what the word emancipate means, you know? So now we're gonna go back to the article, because it was Union troops that was doing all this. They say what they teach you in school: the North, the Union, wanted to free the slaves; the South, the Confederate, wanted to keep the slaves, and all that bullshit. It's all bullshit, man. It says, so they decided to build an encampment for him at Devil's Punch Bowl, which they walled off and wouldn't let him out. Former director of the Natchez City Cemetery, Don Estes, explained. Devil's Punch Bowl was so named for cavernous bowl-shaped gulch walled off by tree-topped cliffs, an area unintentionally made perfect for a hellacious prison by nature herself. A tangle of lush green now tops bluffs near the Mississippi River in Natchez, hiding past atrocities that took place when Union Army soldiers corralled and captured those freed slaves in worse conditions than they endured previously as slaves on sprawling plantations. In the unrelenting heat and humidity of the Deep South, African American men, which is Israelite men, toiled at the hard labor clearing thickets of brush, while women and children, not seen as a viable workforce for the task, languished without food or water behind the locked concrete walls of the camp to die of starvation, man. So Esau Edom don't give a fuck about none of us, bro. You understand? And that's why we out there cussing out 2/3 of our people, because you joining hand in hand with a goddamn devil who wouldn't give two fucks about you, man. You know? This is Isaiah 47 and verse 6. It says, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thy hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke, man. Why? Because of that perpetual hatred, man. You know? So Esau Edom will get no mercy, as it says in the book of James, man. To him that showed no mercy, he shall receive no mercy, man. And that's why Sirach tells us to never trust our enemy, man. You know? And that's what we out here telling our people. 10 and 12, I believe. Or 12 and 10. 12 and 10. Salakia. This is Sirach 12 and 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man. You know, and who is your enemy? Read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 68th verse. It says, we shall be sold unto our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, man. You understand? And it's coming back. You know, it happened all throughout our history. Matter of fact, read an account, you know. Read an account in Maccabees. This first Maccabees 1 and 60. This is first Maccabees 1. I start at 57. It says, and whosoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put to death, and that's gonna come back according to 2nd Ezra 16th chapter, man. You know, they're gonna come down with great wrath, spoiling those who fear the Lord. Roughly paraphrasing, man. 2nd Ezra 16th chapter. You know, Revelations 12. This devil will come down with great wrath, same as he did in the ancient times, man. It says, thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 25th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of the Most High, at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised, and they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them, man. You know? And that's coming back, man. This devil don't care about none of you Israelites, man. You know? And that's why we out here telling our people, to return, to come back. But only the elect gonna take heed, and that's the only ones we're worried about. You know, is the elect of Israel. All the rest of you niggas can die to death. It says, barbarous treatment didn't even end when someone died. The Union Army did not allow them to remove the bodies from the camp, Westbrook explained. They just gave them shovels and said, bury them where they drop. And all that is coming back, man. You know, you ain't even going to be buried, man. You understand? That's what's coming to this place. That's how much death and destruction is coming. You know? That's why that's why we must be engulfed in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. You know? Because this is our only comfort. This is our only escape. This is our only salvation. Is in these scriptures. Belief in these scriptures, you know? It says bleak conditions of being cramped inside locked walls and forced to work until exhaustion or death also led to the spread of disease and illness. A little discussed but insidious issue for former slaves, killing up to 1 million individuals following the intensive emancipation. It says disease broke out among them, smallpox being the main one, Estes said of the concentration camp prisoners, and thousands died. They were begging to get out. Turn me loose and I'll go home back to the plantation, anywhere but there. However, a dearth of information about these mostly postbellum camps indeed leaves significant leeway for conjecture, and a smattering of conclusions say those detained preferred the slightly greater freedom compared to brutality found on the plantations. Additional critics dispute Westbrook and Estes in the number who died in the Natchez camp, saying the number is likely closer to just 1,000. You see how Esau bullshit, man? You know? Esau always bullshits with the numbers, man. Hey, millions of Israelites died, man. Millions of Israelites died. Billions, matter of fact, billions of Israelites died at the hands of this goddamn devil. You understand? And he got to pay for every single drop of blood, man. It says, but without methodical record keeping, the figure is impossible to verify with certainty. Either way, this black eye on American history is still one of the largest and most brutal acts of state-sanctioned death this country has ever seen. And it's coming back, man. You understand? Concentration camps are coming back. They're already here. And the scriptures prophesied of it, man. You know? It's going to be martial law in the streets. Read 2nd Esdras 15 and 2nd Esdras 16. You understand? And to all you people that that reject the word, hey, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 15. I'm gonna start at the top. It says, "Then said Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me." Moses represents the law, Samuel the prophets, right? "Yet my mind could not be toward this people." See, the Lord, 2/3 of the Lord, hey, because these niggas is straight niggas, man. Hey, can a leopard change his spots? You know? That was talking about niggas before it was talking about Esau Edom. Just like it says, those that lie, they are of the synagogue of Satan. They say that they are Jews and they are not. That was talking about niggas before it was talking about Esau, man. Psalms 50, it says, "What is thou to do to take my covenant into thy mouth, seeing thou hatest in instruction?" That was talking about niggas before it was talking about Esau, man. You understand? These fuck niggas taught Esau his wicked ways, man. As it is written, "Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Because even thou hast taught the wicked thy ways." You know? They overpass the deeds of the wicked, as it says in Jeremiah. It says, "Yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight, and let them go forth. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, Whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, Thus saith Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, such as are for death, to death. If he dies, he dies. And such as are for the sword, to the sword. And such as are for the famine, to the famine. And such as are for the captivity, to the captivity," man. You know? So whatever your judgment gonna be, hey, it is what it is, man. 2nd Esdras 9 tells us what? To not be worried about how the wicked shall be punished, but worry about how the righteous shall be saved, man. So if you die, you die. The sword, the sword represents destruction, man. You know, and destruction could come in many ways. Pestilence, you know, diseases, you know, guns, swords, rocks, bats, clubs. It says, "And such as are for the famine, to the famine," starving, man. A Lamentation speaks about starving, man. They pine away. You understand? It's better to be slain by the sword than by famine. And it says, such as are for the captivity, to the captivity, man. Such as that's headed to those FEMA camps, to those concentration camps. Then so be it. Verse 3, "And I will point over them 4 kinds, saith Yahweh, the sword to slay, and the dog to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy." And that's what's coming, man. You understand? All these atrocities that's happened in the ancient world. Look at the atrocity that's happened here in Devil's Punch Bowl, man. Which is a fit name for it, because Esau Edom is the goddamn devil. You know? But look at what we're reading about, man. Look at such atrocity that we just read, right? But yet, this is Daniel. This is Daniel 12. I'm going to start at the top. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book." So the time that's coming, man, is more atrocious. It's more evil. It's more brutal than anything we read, than what we read now, you know? And that's what's coming to this place, man. It says, "As the Civil War drew to a close and during the nascent stages of emancipation, the transfer of ownership, right? Those who had been thrust into slavery and putatively freed held a precarious place outside the society of their enslavement. Thus, legitimately freed individuals and escapees alike were captured and held in contraband camps, so named because as commodities they were considered contraband by Union troops who had no qualms about perpetrating slavery for their own benefit. 3 such camps existed in the Devil's Punch Bowl area of Natchez, man. Hey, but you hear about those Japanese during World War II being put in concentration camps, and Esau, Edom giving them reparations, man. Where's the reparations for us? Hey, because we are the Israelites, man. The reparations is going to be their blood. The reparations is going to be Yahweh Ba'Sham Yahushai coming and defending us, man. Hey, this is Zephaniah 3:8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh Ba'Sham Yahushai, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy, man. You understand? And the Lord is doing all this for his people's sake, for his heritage, like Joel the 3rd chapter says. You know? It says, our reparation is going to be the kingdom of heaven, man. Our reparation is going to be the next rulership, as it is written. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Second Ezra, the 6th chapter, I believe, is the 9th verse. It says, historians' descriptions of Devil's Punch Bowl have been loosely anecdotically backed by locals who describe human skeletons occasionally washing free from the location in times of heavy rains and flooding. Wild peach trees now dot the basin where human beings who believed they'd finally won freedom from slavery sweated through work for different captors until death granted the ultimate reprieve. But Mississippians know better than to taste the bitter fruit fertilized with the blood of atrocity. And the scripture says, woe to him that buildeth the city with blood, man. You understand? Hey, this devil has a lot to pay for, man. Hey, matter of fact, this is Revelation chapter 18, verse 6. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her work. And the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double, man. You understand? For all the atrocities and the devastation you caused the children of Israel, man. It's going to be double upon Esau, Edom. It says, like so much about the history of the United States, sadistic acts, like so much about the history of the United States, sadistic acts perpetrated by officials acting on behalf of the government have been criminally downplayed to lessen shame and facilitate collective memory loss, man. That's all the United States is founded on, man. Is the destruction of our people. That flag waving, man. They want you to stand and salute that flag. That flag represents our downfall. That flag represents our oppression, man. You know? The image of the beast, Revelation 13. This image, the way of the American way, it represents our oppression. It represents our destruction. I'm going to read that again. It says, like so much about the history of the United States, sadistic acts perpetrated by officials acting on behalf of the government, which is the same thing happening today, man, have been criminally downplayed to lessen shame and facilitate collective memory loss. But there can be no doubt, whether unintentionally or by design, thousands succumb to inhumane conditions at these camps under added duress of lacking the freedom so basic it's called the cornerstone of the nation. Whatever the full truth about Devil's Punch Bowl, it's a veritable guarantee no history book will be honest or thorough enough to shed light on the excruciating conditions akin to Nazi concentration camps. And those goddamn Khazars, man, they didn't go through the things that these Israelites went through in this Devil's Punch Bowl, man. Those goddamn Khazars had movie theaters, man, and brothels and goddamn tennis courts. But it's supposed to be a concentration camp. The fuck out of here. It says, or even that forced slave labor continued while America readjusted its crooked and tarnished halo after the Civil War, man. You know? And all this is being brought to light by Genesis, the 49th chapter, man. It says, Judah is a lion's whelp. He croucheth. Who shall rouse him up? Hey, the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Sham Yahushai is rousing up Judah, man. Because when Judah get roused up, all the rest of the tribes will follow suit. You understand? And you can see that the Lord playing it out, man. See the race war starting, you know? You see martial law right around the corner, the chip being implemented, earthquakes and rumors of wars and uproars of the people, you know? Like it says in Romans 13:11, we ended on that. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. It says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed, man. You know, it got to get worse before it get better, man. Hey, let's pray, y'all, about Sham Shah, keep us strong, keep us in the faith, and allow us to endure unto the end. All praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. The water Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Lord willing, I hope you brothers was edified. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and salutations to all you brothers who preaching the gospel in truth and in sincerity, always in charity. Shalom.